Jay Thomas Show, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. 6 minutes after 2 o'clock. And, well, we've been waiting months for this one. First, we do the winter outlook, December? And now it's time for the spring-summer outlook.
Already? Oh. You never know it looking outside.
Dude, though, I was outside just a little while ago because I like to get breath of fresh air 20 feet from the building before I come on the air.
Sure.
It's gorgeous out. It's really, really nice
good,
out.
yeah.
What do we got for a temp right now?
We should be close to 40 right now.
see.
With a little sunshine out.
40.
Yep, sunshine out there. After 7 to 12 inches of snow across the area, we're going to start melting this away, so that's good news. Then it'll start to feel like spring by late next week.
Got home last night after our radio station event, and all day yesterday as the stuff's piling up, I'm like, I'm not shoveling it. I'm not snow blowing it. It'll melt. I got home last night. It was about 6 inches of sloppy nasty. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm out there till about, 10:30 last night, cleaning everything up. And I'm like, I did the driveway. We got a massive driveway. Did the deck on the house. Did the patio by the house. Did the pool all around the swimming pool. Got that all done. Go to the garage, crack a beer. And I'm like, turn around, like, you got to be kidding me.
It's snowing again.
Got up this morning, did it all over again, although it wasn't as thick this morning. But what was our total now here in the metro?
7 to 9 inches. I saw reports of 9 inches in West Fargo.
I believe it because of the deck.
Yeah, so it's between 7 and 9 inches. What'd I tell you we get? You didn't believe me. You didn't believe me.
We're on camera, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a unicorn fist later.
Well, Gary, we've got Gary
Yes,
Lezak,
there he
the
is.
founder of the LRC, to join us here for the start of our program. Gary, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And your biggest snowstorm in a very long time. I understand you haven't had more than 3 inches of snow until right now.
No.
Not in one storm. Yeah, this was the biggest one of the season.
Same as last year.
Yep.
And Jay doesn't look too happy about it. I don't understand it. Jay, it's beautiful.
Well, now that it's all cleaned up, and I'm hearing what the temperatures are coming in the next week or so, I'm good now. Hopefully, we can maintain those temperatures. But I'm a little bummed because I thought Dean was gonna come back and go, well, it petered out here, petered out there. That's why we didn't get all the snow, because I was hoping I was gonna hit my 22.5 inches for the season.
You almost did it.
I'm close though. I'm close, guys.
You're close.
I know.
Now,
What is it?
What is it now? Yeah.
We've got, 21, the official, about 28 inches.
I'm close, baby. And we're
28.
done. That's the snow for the year. We're done.
You think so?
It's rain the rest of the way.
There's going to be one more.
No, I
there
don't
is.
think
Yes,
so.
there is.
I don't think so.
Well, it's amazing. It's going to be 40, 41 days from now. You have to deal with this in May.
That'll be rain, Gary. Don't be that guy.
Okay.
All right, so folks, if you don't know what this is, we do this twice a year. It's called the LRC, the Lezak Recurring Cycle. It's Gary founded this thing or discovered it years ago, putzing around in the basement, drinking a juice box. So he just stumbled across this, and it's been an amazing tool for forecasting. When it comes to weather patterns and how things work, so we do this. In the late fall, early winter, we give you the outlook for the winter, and I'm going to tell you how these storms are going to roll up, how they roll, when they're going to roll. This is all on a cycle, the Lezak recurring cycle, or is that what it is? Yeah,
Yep.
Recurring cycle.
Correct.
And then we do it again in the spring and summer. So these two are going to go through and walk us through the storm cycle. We know you guys know how many days it is, so you can say, okay, that thing's coming back then. So we're going to be able to almost pinpoint what your summer's going to look like, temperature-wise, moisture-wise, when big storms are going to roll through. We'll hit the big dates. And then in the 4 o'clock hour, we will take your phone calls if you have specific dates, like, hey, on this date, I'm getting divorced. What's it going to be like? Is it going to be doom and gloom that day, or is it going to be sunny? So we'll do that in the 4 o'clock hour. So hold your calls off for that until 4 o'clock. But if you have a question about the LRC, you're more than welcome to jump in and ask the question. That's what these professionals are here for. 701-293-9000. That is our Thor Building Studio line, post-frame construction for ag and commercial industry. They're there start to finish for you. Ag, residential, commercial. I'll say it again. These guys know what they're doing. Thad and his crew, they're fantastic. ThorBuildings.com. You can email us, studio@WDAYRadioNow.com. That is our Red Wing Shoes studio inbox. Teresa and the crew, like what these guys do with weather, like Thor does with buildings. Teresa and her crew, they do it with the world famous, the best Red Wing boots. 3003 Main Avenue, Fargo. Now open Sundays, by the way, from noon to 4. And get those custom fit orthotics. I got them. Dean's got them. We love them.
Absolutely.
So,
well, Gary.
And then Bridget Riedel, Ag Director, will join us later on too.
She'll be joining us
she's
at 3 o'clock.
Tie all this into how it works for your, why this is important for farmers, ranchers, folks in the ag industry.
So, Gary, for those that aren't familiar with the LRC, give us kind of a quick overview of the LRC, how it works, and how it's one of the best tools to use for long-term forecasting.
Yeah, well, it's the best tool to use for long-term forecasting. There's no competition, actually. What we have is a prediction method that goes out up to nearly a year in advance. I'm up in Boulder, Colorado right now. I'm
Beautiful.
at our new technology teams. Yeah, it's snowing here too, by the way, Jay.
It's Colorado.
You're in North Dakota. Anyway, so I'm meeting with our technology team here, and we've gone through a transition to this great technology team called Flatirons. And let me just tell you, going through this transition has been amazing because we have a model. The LRC model is tomorrow's model today. And just going and diving in and going through this transition to a new tech team, it's amazing. The person, this guy, Max Conrad, actually developed the model, and through all my ideas and thoughts and insights, and we created a robust model that goes out a year ahead that can help you as a farmer plan for which weeks will be wet, which weeks will be dry, will there be a late freeze, when will it possibly threaten, so you can plan and prepare. There is an advantage to knowing the weather far in advance, from predicting this snowstorm far in advance to know that this storm was right on schedule. Oh my gosh, you have flirted with another 30 inches of snow this winter. Just know it went off to your southeast, barely, a couple times. And so this one happened to come a little bit farther north and west, and you got into the circulation. But the pattern is cycling. I discovered it back in 1987, 1988. I sort of stumbled across this. I've always been obsessed with weather patterns since I was a little kid, 5 years old, growing up. And the weatherman on TV, Dr. George Fishbeck, was the guy back then. And he would show why Southern California, where I grew up, was going to get hit by all these storm systems. And I just got obsessed with the weather patterns. Then in 1987, 1988, and it's a mural, it's on my wall to this day, we had 2 1-foot snowstorms that winter, and they were separated by about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, whatever the cycle was that year. And I noticed that the pattern looked awfully similar for each storm. And that's when I said, wait a second, this isn't a coincidence. And I discovered that the weather pattern is cycling. It is literally cycling regularly. This year's cycle is close to 40 or 41 days, just under 6 weeks, but it oscillates. It's a river of air above us. And so we have found the order in chaos, and we're able to predict tropical storms months in advance. Hurricanes, the disasters that hit last year, all 5 hurricanes were predicted months in advance to when they would form and likely where they would track. And so then you also can predict severe weather outbreaks. This one that big tornado that's hit Arkansas and all the tornadoes yesterday, predictable and predicted months ago, actually almost 2 months ago, 50 days in advance for this latest one. And winter storms, floods, droughts. Are we going to have a drought or not? Something that Dean will discuss later. I only have about a half hour with you guys right now. I'll try to check in later. But that's what it's all about. Discovered in 87. You can go back to the 1940s. I know, Jay, at first you were like, I remember our first conversation. You're like, okay, all right. See about this, but then you've experienced it, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a bunch of hocus pocus because it was new. I mean, nobody, most of America, I would say at that time, never heard of this. You know, you always, you predict, you give a forecast 3 days out, maybe 5 days out. But you guys rolled into town with this when we hired Dean, and I mean, Dean talked about, and I remember that first year, I'd walk by his office, him and Justin Storr, and they had all this flipping paperwork taped to the walls like wallpaper. And I'm like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's the LRC cycle that you were telling about. It's like, whatever. All right, you guys, what do you guys? It looks like you guys are playing Dungeons and Dragons, setting up whatever. And no, man, it was like, I remember the first year we did this, or the first special that we did, and it was that winter one. I don't know how many years ago now it was. And I wrote everything down. I'm like, this is a bunch of crap. I'm writing it all down. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is, I can't believe, I mean, we're talking months. I was like, you got to be kidding me. How has nobody else ever glommed onto this or figured this out? Now, what people don't understand, and I got a message I'm going to read to you. It kind of ties with this, guys, and that is, it is nothing in this world is 100% except for taxes and death. But it's pretty darn close. Now, storms shift, they move. But every time you guys say, hey, look, man, from this day to this day, there is going to be a major system. It's going to hit here. It could shift. And that has happened. But the storm has happened. It might have shifted 100 miles or so, but
it's
when
there.
he said it was going to happen, and it might be a day late, day earlier, so, but it happens. Again, it's not 100, but I got to put you guys up 95% accuracy. It's unbelievable. With that said, let me read this to you guys. Hey, you guys, your April LRC calendar, you mentioned there did not look like, I'm reading these how they come in. Your April LRC calendar, you mentioned there did not look like there were any major storms for the beginning of April. What happened?
Yeah, Gary, you want to take that or?
Well, what happened is like maybe it was the late March version of this storm, because it's really it was pegged for 28th to 31st of March, and it was 2 to 3 days a little bit later, but it was there. So sometimes you look at that April calendar, and you have to, the global predictor, if you're looking at that, it may not show the storm as well, but it was likely there at the end of March instead of early April.
And another good example.
And that goes back to, it could shift a day or two. So if you got like a specific date you're looking at, whether you're farming, you're going to take a vacation here, and it says, ooh, okay, it's I'm just going to make it. No, you just put a buffer on each end.
Yeah.
A day or two buffer.
If there's 7 days that it shows it's going to be dry, it's likely not going to be a storm. Mm-hmm. If there's a storm and it's 4 days long, then somewhere in the middle of that could still move by a couple of days.
Sure.
And, it isn't perfect, but you said 95% because on the storm itself, it is predictable and predicted. The storm is there. Maybe for the specific location that you had the global predictor, it didn't show it there, but maybe it did for somewhere in Minnesota just southeast of you.
And a good example was, so the storm we have coming up on the 14th and 15th, or let's just say mid-month here, that hit us hard in the November cycle, but the next two cycles we didn't get much out of it. So we can kind of figure out that, okay, this cycle, as that jet stream lifts north in the spring, it's mimicking what we had in November, so we can with confidence say this is going to hit us this cycle as we head into the middle of the month. And that's how we kind of use it. The storm is going to be there. It's going to shift in each cycle, and you've got to pinpoint exactly where it's going to hit. Now, Gary, with this storm that just hit us, I mean, everything from a huge tornado outbreak down in the Ohio Valley yesterday. They're expecting flooding rains in the Ohio Valley today. So this is going to cycle back every 40, 41 days. Now, not saying that we're going to get the severe weather next cycle, but it looks like as we go into June, that's when, as the system cycles through in June and July, we stand our best chance of seeing the severe weather up here.
Yeah, the jet stream starts retreating now. And then there's the outlook you can see for that summer outlook. The part of the pattern that produced the major outbreak of severe weather, is December 28th is going to return. And by this time frame, you can see there we do have on July 28th to August 5th, North Dakota is in the target. Now, listen, it is the summer version of the pattern. So the jet stream is usually not strong enough for tornadoes, but those derecho high wind events, that would be a big possibility for that time frame.
And what was that time frame again, Gary?
July 28th to August 5th.
Okay.
Write it down.
All right.
Yep. And so, that's how we can, forecast, I've given numerous talks, about 4 or 5 over the last 3 weeks to our ag community. And each event I go to, the first thing I ask, how many of you have heard of the LRC? And it's amazing from just 2 years ago to the talks I give now, how many people recognize the LRC. And they say, hey, this is the best we can use. I mean, this is a fantastic tool to have in our tool belt.
Okay, then let me read this email. You bring it up, and I was going to save it for Bridget, but we can always have her address it when she joins us later on, our ag director. But This is one of the big naysayers of the LRC, and I know who this person is. This person hates life in general.
Oh, is this Eminem?
Yeah, it's Eminem.
This is Eminem. Hey,
that's why he
Eminem.
hates life. His mom named him after a candy. You can say what you want, but 99.5%. And the reason I'm reading this to you is because you are doing a ton of talk, so you're talking to people in the ag industry all the time.
Yep.
You can say what you want about, but 99.5% of the farmers still are going to plant the decor they want, whether it's called for cool, hot weather, dry. Farmers do not make decisions on the LRC like you want. Yes, a few may listen, but they don't base their decisions on what the LRC may come out with. What do you say to that? You're talking to him all the time.
I'll say BS. And why
is BS.
Why do you even bother reading his
because
email?
I read everybody's emails on this program.
I know. It's
always
okay.
have, always will.
It is okay.
My response to that is they don't do it now, but yes, you're all going to plant at a certain window between mid-March and mid-April, or mid-April to mid-May. You're going to do what you do, but if it provides you an advantage so you can prepare way ahead of time, you can know what staff you want to send on vacation. You can say, hey, these 3 weeks it's going to be dry, you might as well take vacation then. But there will be an impact on your decisions. Yes, a lot of different, from farmers to the hotel industry to other weather sensitive businesses, there's an advantage to knowing far in advance. And for example, the storm that just killed 32 people March 14th to 15th to 16th in the southeast United States, and 8 people on I-70 that got caught in a dust storm. Mm-hmm. If they would have had on their calendar that this is an LRC storm and this is going to be a big impacting one, maybe one person does something a little bit differently, plans a little bit differently, and maybe we save one life out of those 40 lives. Maybe it's worth saving 1 life, 2 lives. I'm sure we'll save more than that. From lives to the impacts on your farm, the impact might not seem there. And the critic out there that you just talked about that hates life thinks that 99.5% aren't going to use it, but eventually you will, because you'll actually have confidence that it's real and it actually happens.
Well, now again, more and more in the ag are turning to the LRC or calling, hey, come tell us about this thing. I mean, before you answer that, I use it for rides. I'm always in Dean's office. If we got to take a trip somewhere, do some distance. Because it's expensive to go out and film, I'll ask Dean, hey, Dean, these dates, we are on the road. Here's where we're going. What are we looking at? Because we want to know, okay, we're not going to spend thousands of dollars, get on a plane, go somewhere, and it's a wash. It's not. And we have changed filming dates because of the LRC, and it's worked out. It has.
And going back to the ag community, like I said, word is spreading. It's all positive, and we've got testimonials from numerous farmers saying, hey, you know what? I saw a very wet pattern coming in May. I planted early. My crops did great, while other in the ag community had to wait until after that big rain event went through, and I had a jump start, and my crop was X amount better than the other farmers that didn't plant.
I just thought of something. We're here already in defensive mode, defending the LRC. One way you can go track it for a year with me, weather2020.substack.com. You can go on there for about a year, and we do charge $300, less than $1 a day. But after that year, most farmers, most people following it go, wow, this is real. This is significant. So yes, now you might not make decisions, but in the future, you will make some decisions, and profitable ones, and ones that will save lives.
Right. Exactly.
And Gary, not only does it forecast severe weather, winter storms, summer storms, lately, and not lately, but over the last 3 years, you were just recognized with the LRC #1 way to forecast hurricanes. So
that's crazy.
Want to say congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if you can put up that chart, but the Barcelona Supercomputing Center in Spain, they track the data, and they have all the data just sitting there and analyzing all the data. Weather 2020, it'd be like a 3-round golf tournament. 2022 round 1, 2023 round 2, 2024 round 3. 2022, we shot like a 12 under 59, and we got everyone's attention. Wow, this new method of forecasting is interesting. We'll have to follow them. And then the second year, 2023 and 2024, we came in first place in various categories. Maybe we shot a -3 and a -4, but we still won the tournament by 10 strokes. We literally were that much ahead. So yes, Weather 2020 is number one in forecasting hurricane season numbers on number of named storms, number of hurricanes, major hurricanes, and how strong that season will be. The other guys keep taking the wrong path. And let me tell you, this next year, we're going to be aggressive. We're predicting 20 named storms already, and we're going to be above most.
I was going to ask you that because I had heard the other day that it is going to, and we have a lot of people that have ties to Florida, the Eastern Seaboard, that this upcoming hurricane season is going to be really a wicked one. So for all the listeners right now, and I'm looking because I can real time who's listening on computers around the world, and I can tell you right now we got a ton of people in Florida from Tampa to Sarasota, Cape Coral, Fort Myers Beach, West Palm Beach, Corals. I mean, they're all over down there. Those folks are listening right now. What are we looking at for their hurricane season?
Yeah, Jay, I know you got a few minutes. Then I got to get to another meeting. Yep. Let me just tell you. Weather2020.com. It's not your typical, all other sources will show you a one-page outlook for the hurricane season. Ours is 35 pages long. I poured a lot of hours in there. We've done an analysis, but you can go to weather2020.com and you can click on the hurricane forecast, get that product. You'll get updates. You'll be involved in our webinars. We do have it timed out for where and when these are going to hit. Last year, when we had Hurricane Milton and they hit Florida, and Helene, the disaster in the southeast with all the flooding, predicted months in advance, just like for farmers. No one's going to do anything different. If you know it's going to hit around September 26th, we said it would hit September 25th. It hit September 26th. And
wow.
And it blows my own mind when we get these right, okay? But the pattern is cycling regularly, and hurricanes follow that path. So how active is it going to be this year? Just know at the beginning, in October and November, when the pattern set up, we had Raphael that went into the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Watch out, Texas, late August for that one. And then you have about 6 others we've identified that are going to threaten the United States. So we tell you when and where.
6.
Yeah.
And most of them, yeah, and the majority of them, last year was on the Gulf side. This year,
Gulf of America, by the way.
Yeah, this year the Atlantic side is a side that's going to get hit in Florida.
So okay, so
it is the Gulf of America, don't you think? I mean, come on,
it is. It is. Yes, it is. All right, WDOY time right now is 2:29. I know, Gary, you got to go. You might be joining us later on in the special.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I got this meeting with the technology team. I'll get back to you guys. Dean has been doing his own analysis. He's amazing. I can't wait to hear what he's got for your forecast for the spring and summer.
Me too.
And, of course, the Global Predictor app, if you want to get that forecast for the summer right now. But Dean will go over those forecasts coming up here a little bit later.
All right, thanks, Gary. Hopefully we'll talk to you later on in the special. WDAY time right now is 2:29. When we come back, more of the LRC special. Got questions, comments, 701-293-9000. The email. It is studio at WDAYRadioNow.com. Also got to do a phrase that pays. So when we come back, we'll give you the phrase that pays. Get it, nail it, $100. Hard, cold cash is yours. Be listening tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. hour, when Bonnie says, all right, what does she take? She must take caller number 9, I'm guessing.
It varies.
And you got to nail it to AT. You do that, you get $100. Hard, cold cash. And this week's cash brought to you by Tom Colagio. Buying or selling in the Fargo area? Tom Colagio at TomSellsFargo.com. Local, experienced, and ready to work for you. That's TomSellsFargo.com, your key to real estate success. And also want to thank our sponsors for the Spring Outlook Special. That's brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo with 3 Fargo locations. And Roe and Joe Junk Haul and Removal. When it's got to go, call Roe and Joe. Online at roeandjoe.com. Junk.com. 2:30, Jay Thomas Show.
News now from the WDAY Radio Newsroom.
I'm Austin Erickson with the news, brought to you by Innovative Basement Authority. They specialize in basement waterproofing, foundation repair, and other services to give you a safer, drier home. More online at innovativebasementauthority.com. Local training is being offered on how to respond to an opioid crisis. Tonight at 6, Fargo's Downtown Library will host a session on recognizing an overdose and using the Narcan nasal spray to save a person's life. FargoCast Public Health will also provide free Narcan to all those who attend. Teens and adults are encouraged to be there. No registration is required. The Red River SWAT team is having training at 3 locations in Fargo. It will happen in the 200 block of 4th Street North until 4, the 1100 block of 2nd Avenue South from 4:30 to 9:30, and on the 300 block of 24th Street North from 4:30 to 9. Officers may be carrying guns, but Fargo police say no live rounds will be used. Expect loud noises, yelling, and SWAT vehicles with their emergency lights on. If you do have concerns, call Red River Dispatch. And the president of Fargo-based True North Steel believes President Donald Trump's tariffs will help level the playing field for his industry. Dan Cattermas was one of 2 board members from the American Institute of Steel Construction at Trump's speech.
We've outsourced a lot of things, and during COVID, we learned a lesson in the risk we have with outsourcing.
Imported steel and aluminum already facing a 25% tariff was excluded from the new tariffs. It covers finished products made with imported steel and aluminum. The tariff does not include steel fabricated in other countries with U.S.-made steel. That's a look at the news. I'm Austin Erickson.
First with the news when you need to know. WDAYRadioNow.com.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. All right, hang on, callers. We'll get you. We'll get your emails. Jay Thomas Show. It is the Spring Summer Outlook Special, the LRC Special, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo. 3 Fargo locations. And Roe and Joe, junk haul and removal. When it's got to go, call Roe and Joe online at Roe and Joe. That's J-O, by the way, junk.com. Now, you can watch the special if you want to listen to it radio, actually want to see our ugly mug. Well, these ugly mug. You can, I should turn you on there.
Yeah, it helps.
Really? All right, now you're off. No. You can watch us on our YouTube channel. We're streaming it live there, WDAY 970 AM. And when you're on there, if you're not subscribed to it, hit that subscribe button. And you'll get alerts when stuff like this is going on or when we're putting new stuff up on the channel. You can also watch it on our Facebook page. That's the same thing, WDAY 970 AM. Let's see. We got to do the phrase page, don't we? All right, let's do this phrase the page. Let's get that out of the way for you, and then we'll get back to the Spring Summer Outlook Special. Okay, you ready? It's got to be word for word. Word for word. Here it is. Bonnie will ask for it tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour. Today's phrase that pays. Listen closely, Dean.
Not about me again.
Listen close. A closed mouth gathers no feet. A closed mouth gathers no feet.
That's an easy one.
That's a very easy one. One more time. Phrase that pays for tomorrow morning, Bonnie and Friends, 7 a.m. hour. A closed mouth gathers no feet. There you go. All right. And again, this week's cash brought to you by TomSellsFargo.com. Local experience and ready to work for you. That's TomSellsFargo.com. Okay. And I want to thank Jiffy Lube and Ronjo for the special. All right. Let me get to the phones first here, Deal. Dave, you're up on a Jay Thomas Show, the Spring Summer Outlook Special.
Yeah, it's for Dean, I guess. I was wondering, got a wedding out in western North Dakota on the 26th of April. Do I need to put winter tires on or what?
Actually, we've got 3 storms coming in the rest of this month throughout the state. One is the 14th and 15th. That one could be our last snowmaker here in the FM area. We've got another storm coming in the 24th and 25th. Now, keep in mind, again, if this is a day off, that could affect your plans out in the western part of the state. That one could bring snow to the western part of the state. And then there's another one trailing that on the 29th, 30th through early May. So it'll depend on that second storm, the one that comes at us on the 24th and 25th. Does that get out of here by the weekend? Does it come in a day late? So I would say better safe than sorry. It looks like that time frame, right around the 24th, 25th, there more than likely will be snow out in the western part of the state.
All righty. Thanks a lot.
All righty.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. 701-293-9000. Questions, comments, email studio at WDAYradionow.com. Email says, I grew up on a small grain farm. Farmed with my husband and on my own after his passing. 1 year, had to replant my entire canola crop because of a late frost. I can tell you, if I had this tool to use then, I would have definitely delayed my planting to avoid losing tens of thousands of dollars. Your emailer, M&M, can go pound sand if he thinks farmers don't do everything in their power to ensure the best outcome for their farming operation.
Yeah.
That comes from Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. And, and speaking of our last frost, or let me say last freeze.
We had it. Oh, the last snow.
Yeah, no, we haven't had our last snow either.
Come on.
So our last freeze, according to the LRC, across our area, is going to be right around April 20th, right in that time frame, 20th, 22nd, right in that general time frame. Now, after that, it looks like we're clear sailing. Now, there is a chance of a light frost right around that May 10th through the 14th time frame. Again, it's very slight, but there is that chance for a light frost during that May time period.
Another email says, Dean, what happened to the April 21st storm?
It's not April 21st.
But you must have it on the calendar, something marked on the calendar you put out. Didn't you put this out?
I've got, let me take my cheaters off.
You got to get thicker ones?
Oh, man.
That's okay.
So we've got something coming in here on the 14th and 15th.
Yep.
Then we'll see a break. Then we've got one coming in right around the 20. Let's see, 18th, 19th, 20, 21st, 22nd. And then there's another one coming in the 24th, like I said earlier, 24th, 25th. Basically, those last 2 weeks of the month are going to be on the stormier side. And that doesn't mean every day, but there's one around, he's correct, the 21st, 22nd.
Well, he's saying it's not. He said, what happened to that one? Like, it's not. It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got it right here. And then as we head into early May, it is going to be a soaker across the area for that first, let's say, five days in May.
Wet, first, say that again.
First 4 or 5 days in May.
It's going to be soaker.
Very wet. We're
Here?
looking. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at precip values 500 to 600% above average.
Which would mean how many inches?
I mean, we could easily pick up a good 2-3 inches during that
we
time
went
frame.
through this last year. I remember it was just it's like when the rains came down in the spring, it wouldn't stop.
Right. And let's take a look what it looks like. JT, if you can pull that map up for North Dakota and Minnesota.
Hang on, callers. Judy, you'll be next.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here, if you're watching us online, this is our outlook for North Dakota, Minnesota, from start of May through the end of August. And what we're looking at over the eastern third of North Dakota and through most of western Minnesota, we're looking at precip values to be about 90 to 95% of normal. So again, that means this upcoming spring and summer, we should have near normal precip. There will be some pockets of above normal, but the further west you go, we're looking at areas of western part of the state. Unfortunately, up by the oil patch, that's where they're in severe drought now, and I just don't see that improving a whole lot. They'll get about 70% normal of average precip out in the west and northwest part of the state, and about 80 to 85% of average in the southwestern part of the state. So the western part of the state is going to be dry. I think the drought conditions will lighten up a little bit, but not to the extent that you would hope to see. And there's also, if you're watching online there, the southwestern parts of Minnesota could be in for drought conditions as well as we head throughout the year.
Yeah, it looks pretty dry down there.
Spring, summer, yeah.
Judy's in Moorhead. Hey, Judy, you're up on a Jay Thomas show.
Yeah, I got a question. On April 25th through May 6th, my son and a few family members are going to, they'll leave for Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and then they'll go to Chicago and then to Vegas. Is there going to be any bad weather between those dates?
April 25th through May 6th, is that what you said? Are they driving?
Yeah. No, they're flying.
Okay. In terms of if they're flying, they should be okay. There is a pretty good shot. There's 3 storms that are going to be coming through in that time frame, and the biggest one will be May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, lasting into the 4th.
And that's where?
That's throughout much of North Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you said, did you say they're going to Chicago as well?
Well, yeah, they're going to start in Cedar Rapids and then Chicago and then on to Vegas.
Okay, so that early May time frame, there could be some severe weather, and is that for May there, JT?
Yeah, that's
that
May.
graphic.
Yep, that's May.
So if we can pull that up, there is a chance for severe weather in and around the Chicagoland area through Cedar Rapids in that first week in May.
All right. A mother always worries.
Well, that's
absolutely.
What moms are supposed to do. Thanks, Judy. Appreciate it. But you people are just you're batting bad today. You guys are all picking bad times, man.
Yeah. So again, and we'll break this down month by month, but I just wanted to give kind of a general outlook here off the bat. And overall, Precip and Carol, she sent me a message here. and said, what does the average precip, average temperature look like for the spring and summer? So I'll just give you a general overview, and then coming up later in the show, we'll break it down month by month. So on average for our area, and I'm talking eastern third of the state into western Minnesota.
Okay.
The summer as a whole, temperature-wise, we're going to be a little bit above normal this year.
What's a little bit?
Oh,
You see a lot of 90s this year?
more than last year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't get a whole lot last
No,
year, did we?
more than last year. So we'll have temperatures a little bit above normal, and as the further south you go, so if you want to put that up, JT.
It's up.
Yeah, there we go. We're looking at about 2 degrees and up to 2 degrees above normal. And then even warmer, the further south you go in the southern half of Minnesota, they'll be a little bit more above normal. In terms of precip, across the area, we're looking at, on average, in, again, eastern third of North Dakota into western Minnesota, about 10 to 12 inches of rainfall throughout the spring and summer. Now, some of that's going to come, bam, in big clumps, and that's what we can break down as well.
Okay.
And let's put that up there, JT. So this is our precipitation forecast through the end of August. And you could look at that huge spike in early May. We've got another big spike, looks like early June and towards mid-June. June's going to be a wet month.
It always is, isn't it?
And then we dry out at the end of June. July, I know you're not going to want to hear this.
Come on.
The first 4 or 5 days of July.
Oh, the 4th of July.
Yeah, it does look at least like scattered storms, not a huge storm like we're going to see in the beginning of May and around June 13th, 14th. But it's still a little bit wet start of July. Then we see a big spike in precip, looks like around July 17th, and then about the 20 through the 24th of July, and then we dry things out at the end of July, and then August doesn't look too bad. August looks drier than June and July.
Well, May doesn't look too bad either, other than that very beginning of May. Otherwise, for the most part, it doesn't look too bad.
Well, beginning of May, and then we're looking at about the 13th through the 15th. There's that spike just over 100% of normal. So we'll get another system roll through there, and then we dry out 17th, 18th, 19th.
June does not look
of
promising.
May. Yeah, June looks pretty wet.
June does not look
June
promising
looks wet.
at all. July not bad, except for that 4th of July time frame.
Yeah.
All right, let me get some emails in here. My youngest son is getting married on September 5th in Fargo. Should they plan for a stormy or sunny weekend?
I don't have September in front of me, but it's following the trend at the end of August that it should be a dry start, and then we could have a storm coming in that weekend, or
Of the
just
5th?
or just shortly after that.
People are not doing well on your plans this summer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hang on, callers. What will the weather be in Omaha May 29th through June 1st?
May 29th through June 1st. It'll start out dry and likely turn wet towards the 1st.
All right. Ron, are you getting them phones there, buddy? Let's see, another one. Question, put the dock in further out in the water in lieu of a drought this year?
No.
No.
Well, where's he at?
Well, I'm guessing he's in the lakes.
In Lakes
area.
Country?
Lakes
No.
Country.
No. Lakes Country is going to get plenty of moisture this year.
They are?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just block that. 701-293-9000. Email studio at WDAYRadioNow.com or our spring-summer LRC Outlook. Give it a chance to look into the future, hear the future, what the weather's going to be like. So compared to last summer, because summer did not get rolling around here until, till almost July. Because I remember June, it was nonstop, and we would I remember I had skimmer pumps all over my yard to suck all the water out because we were that saturated.
Right.
What does this spring summer look like compared to last year? I mean, is it okay? About the same, going to be a lot better, a little bit better.
I think in my eyes, it's going to be better in terms of temperatures. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're going to have our wet streaks.
We always do.
And We do, but man, I'm telling you, June looks wet. I hate to say that, but it looks. There's 3 significant storms in June. One right around Rib Fest, unfortunately.
See that.
And then there's another one. If we can pull up the June calendar, JT. So June looks wet right around the 4th through the 7th. Right around the 4th through the 7th. June looks wet. Then there's another wet streak about the 11th through the 16th. And that could be a big severe weather outbreak from the valley eastward. Then we'll kind of mellow things out after the 17th through about the 22nd. Then we've got another system coming in here, the 23rd, 4th, and 5th. And then we dry things out for the end of June.
I'm looking at now the numbers for folks that are watching either on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, which is both our WDAY 970 AM, and make sure you hit our subscribe buttons or follow buttons. So you got the numbers on the side, 100, 200, 300, 400. That's percent above average.
Correct.
So I'm looking at right around 9, 10, 11. I'm looking at June 12th. If this pans out, we're almost 400% above average that we're going to get hit.
Yes, and that's the one where we could have severe weather with it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for the 13th, which really sucks because Alex and I were excited to go see Tyler Hubbard at the lights outside, of course.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, after that, chances or precipitation above average, it's all below 100.
It's all below average as we head toward until we get to about the 23rd, 4th, 5th of the month, and then we end the month on a dry note.
Let's see. Pam, you're up on the Jay Thomas Show.
Hi, Jay. Hi, Dean.
Hello.
I just had a question. You mentioned hurricanes, predicting hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way you guys can predict tornadoes this spring here?
Well, what we can do is highlight the areas that are and the times that are most likely to see severe weather. And that could be anything from tornadoes to hail to, like Gary said earlier, derechos, or in other words, a high wind event. We can highlight the general time frame that's likely, but to pinpoint whether that's going to be tornadic right now, no. But what we can do is say, hey, this is the time frame. These 3 days, severe weather is a good likelihood, and so that gives you time to prepare in advance that those areas might have severe weather. And again, I'll give you a couple of highlights for severe weather in our area this year. One would be June 4th through the 7th. With severe weather possible in our area, but more likely to our south. But there's a better chance of severe weather in our area in the valley eastward for June, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then there's another good chance of severe weather in our area July 15th, 16th, and 17th. So those are the key time frames, and then there's another one in the beginning of August, from August 1st through about August 6th. That'll be another time frame where we could see severe weather here in North Dakota and Minnesota as well. So there's about 2 or 3 key time frames this summer where I should say 3 or 4, sorry, where we can have pretty decent outbreak of severe weather.
Oh, okay. So be on the lookout on those days.
Yep. Yeah. May doesn't look too bad in regards to severe weather. And June, the only really severe chance we have, again, it would be about the 5th time frame, but a better chance 11th, 12th, and 13th of June.
Thanks, Pam. Appreciate the phone call. I know callers waiting. We'll get you on the other side of the break. We got to get some news in here. You're listening to the Jay Thomas Show at 970 WDAY 93.1 FM. It is our spring-summer outlook special, the LRC special, letting you what the spring and summer looks like, taking your calls, questions, comments. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo with 3 Fargo locations, Roe and Joe Junk Haul and Removal. When it's got to go, call Roe and Joe online at roeandjoejunk.com. All right, more calls, more emails. Bridget Riedel will join us in a little bit, tile this into the ag community. Jay Thomas Show.
News now from the WDAY Radio Newsroom.
I'm Austin Erickson with the news brought to you by Halberstadt's West Acres Mall. Halberstadt's is the largest menswear retailer in North Dakota. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar's resolution designed to undo President Trump's 25% tariff on most imports from Canada advances. It passed 51 to 48 last night out of the upper chamber, with support from 4 Republican senators, but not from North Dakota Senators John Hoeven and Kevin Kramer.
Canadians look for other markets, and there's other countries, other manufacturers, other farmers, and other nations that say, we are more than happy to fill your contract.
It's not clear if the legislation will pass the Republican-controlled House. North Dakota saw a slight increase in jobs last month. The job service reports around 47,000 were added, which translated into a 1% rise compared to February. The largest increases were seen in healthcare and the smallest in manufacturing and mining. And the University of Minnesota announces it's working with Independent Sports and Entertainment to get naming rights for Williams Arena. A university spokesperson says if a partner is established, the athletic department will continue to showcase the history of the barn and arena namesake former football coach Dr. Henry Williams. Williams Arena opened in 1928 and was home to the Golden Gophers men's hockey team until 1993 and hosted the Frozen Four twice. That's a look at the news. I'm Austin Erickson.
First with the news when you need to know. WDAYRadioNow.com.
12 minutes after 3 o'clock, that's the Zeus Sales and Rental Time Check. Feel the power of Zeus. 3 locations to serve you better. One of the greatest female bands of all time. Headies. We always thought when we were younger that they were girl. The lead singer was a girl. All right, you can kill it. I'm done.
Who's the one that I'll never live down? I thought it was all female band. The rock band that you.
Was that Gunshine?
No. I'm trying to. I'll have to pull it up later. But
have you heard of this band Gunshine, Dean? Because you like the 80s stuff.
Oh yeah, never heard of them.
Next go around for bumper play Gunshine. They're just exploding. They're just these guys show up and they're playing in bars and people are like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, I mean, they're all over social media.
Where are they from?
Heard this? I think they're Michigan or Detroit somewhere. But they're just fabulous. I mean, now they're starting. They're kind of like Greta Van Fleet when nobody really knew they were.
Right.
That's
and then all
one.
of a sudden people, you thought Greta Van Fleet was that.
And what's the name of it? Gunshine?
All of a sudden people start going, this is Greta Van Fleet. I was one of them. And it's the same thing with this band Gunshine. We'll do some bumper. All right, we got to get back to it. 701-293-9000 is the phone number. Email is studio@wdayradionow.com. Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysock is with us. Bridget Riedel, our Ag Director, joins us now. Gary Lezak will try to jump back in with us. It is the Spring Summer Outlook Special brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo with 3 Fargo locations. Also, Row and Joe Junk Haul and Removal. When it's got to go, call Row and Joe online, rowandjoejunk.com. And this thing is so hot, this special that we do twice a year, that just out of the blue, Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon is now a sponsor. Just like, no, they always were. I just forgot to mention them. Sorry, Welton. All right. Let me get a couple emails and we'll welcome Bridget in here. Let's see. Hey, Dean, going to Cincinnati for a paintball tournament. That's still a thing, paintball?
Really?
I didn't know that was still a thing. It's a blast.
And some Skyline chili, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
No, Cincinnati chili. Is that with beans or without beans?
Without.
That's right. That's real chili. Going for a paintball tournament June 20th through the 22nd. What's it look like?
I don't have Cincinnati. I just have our local area for me. But if you shoot me an email or just forward that email to me.
Okay.
And then I will look up Cincinnati and those dates, and I'll shoot you an email back here.
All right, let me do it right now so I don't forget. All right, Aaron, I just forwarded that to Dean, so he'll email you back. Not like today, but
it'll be tomorrow, next couple of days. Yeah.
Ask old Dean Ice Hockey. Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one. If Arizona is actually going to have a monsoon this year, he should know when that occurs, but it's end of June through early August. Is that going to happen in Arizona?
Yes, they will have a decent monsoon
season
this year.
So when they get a monsoon, how much rain are they getting?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Well, sometimes it's a dry monsoon. In other words, you'll get the wind and the dust storm
but you
with
won't
it.
Get the
but some areas will get pounded. Like let's say, Phoenix, Scottsdale, those areas get hit. And then all you get is a wind out of that as it moves towards Tucson.
Okay.
But they are supposed to have a pretty decent monsoon season this year, which that's what they look forward to.
And how long does it last?
June through early July, I believe.
Okay, so the whole month of June.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How many inches of rain on a good monsoon down there?
Oh boy! I mean, you can get flooding rains just with one storm. So each year varies. They've had super dry years and. I mean, they count on that to fill up the reservoirs down there. So you could get, 3, 4, 5 inches easily.
I'll never forget third year, Alex and I were down in St. Pete's Beach, Florida, And the first day we got there about 11 o'clock in the morning, cloudy but just hot and humid. And about afternoon, it broke loose. I have never in my life seen rain come down
so hard
like it came down. And it was for hours. It would not stop. And then you go out in it, and it's like you're taking a shower. It's crazy how warm it was. Email says, please ask Flip Flop Dean about WeFest weekend and the cruise night Thursdays. We'll get to all those.
We'll get to those later.
We'll get those in a 4 o'clock hour. We got to bring, and they keep piling up here. Jay Striper, that band looks like ladies. A lot of those bands from the 80s did. Bridget Riedel joins us now. Bridget, what do you want? I suppose you want to jump into how important and how much the ag community is jumping on the LRC and the benefits it has for them.
Well, when you think about western North Dakota, and you've got a severe drought area up around that Watford City area, north of Dickinson, these are folks that are already making decisions that it looks like it's going to be dry. The LRC is setting it up to look that way as well. So when they think about making their yield goals, so let's talk about wheat. Instead of shooting for your highest yield bushels, you're probably going to cut that back by about 75%, or excuse me, to about 75%. So you're going to cut it back 25%, spend less money on your inputs, your fertilizer, because you realize it's going to be dry and you're not going to get your top bushels. So folks are making those types of decisions. Should I turn my horns in a little bit on some of the inputs that I'm buying because I'm not going to get the moisture? Now, on the flip side of that, over here in the Red River Valley, listening to you guys talk about what's happening through the rest of April into May, sounds like June's going to be a wetter month for us. Mm-hmm. How does that play out? Are we going to get the crop planted? Potentially. I mean, I've talked to a farmer today at a tractor dealership. He said his goal is to get wheat in before Easter, maybe even a few sugar beets. Problem is we get into that time for planting corn and it's so wet, we now have concerns about our soil conditions. And do we hold off on planting? Last year, some guys saw the weather coming, took a risk, got that corn in early. It turned out to be one of their better corn crops. So this is a management tool about what are we going to do for timing and what will this mean later on in the season if we have this really wet window? Do we have opportunities later to plant soybeans? I mean, 3 years ago, we saw soybeans being planted up until the 5th of July. So we have to think about what those things look like. That's why we're using it.
319 right now. Email from a listener named Bridget. If we're getting to choose retro music, bring back Taxi. What is that?
Oh, that was me. And there's a band called Taxi. And if you two are going to talk about all this retro music you want back, I want you to bring back the band Taxi.
Taxi? I've never heard of Taxi.
I haven't either.
70s, 80s? What are they?
Late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
I'll send you some things.
No, Ronnie can dig it up.
Yeah, I'm fine. 1979, Taxi Band, yeah.
Have no clue.
I've never heard of them.
David Cumming, Colin Payne, Jeffrey Need, yeah. A British trio.
Oh, okay. Email, when would you recommend planting a garden this year in the Fargo area? Sorry if you guys already covered this, just started to tune in. Shame on you. We started at 2:05. Yeah, all right. When would you recommend? I mean, Alex and I, but this is just because it's been a...
Was that from Greg?
No, it's not.
Okay, I had a similar question.
It's we don't do any of the flowers. It's become a ritual now for close to 15 years. We do everything Memorial weekends when we go get all the flowers, put them all out. But I got to believe a garden's different than doing your flowers. I know nothing about gardening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms of rainfall, during the month of May, let's assume you're planning on planting your garden. Is that safe, Bridget? End of May, right in that time frame.
By most everybody's got it in by Memorial Day. A lot of folks want to start Mother's Day weekend, and if it turns super cold because you want to get those tomatoes, peppers, etc. in, we're just gonna have to cover them if we're gonna see a frost.
Right. Well, and we were going over that earlier. Our last freeze, our last hard freeze, should be right around April, just after middle of this month, 20th, 23rd, right in that time frame. Now, as we get into, I believe it's right around mid-May, we do stand a chance of a light frost in the area. Mm-hmm. Nothing killing, but a light frost. Other than that, we're good to go. And a quick warm-up after mid-May as well. In terms of precip in May, early part of May is going to be just the first 3 days. It's supposed to be a soaker with between 300 and 600% of average, above average.
And what is average for that time of year? Do you have that?
Like a 3-day stretch there? Oh, quarter, half inch,
So we could be how much above that?
A couple inches during that 3-day time frame.
Wow.
I'll
be getting the skimmer pumps out.
Then we'll dry out around the 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe a slight chance 8th, 9th. Generally between about the 5th and the 12th, we'll have pretty average to below average precip. Then as we head towards mid-May, we'll see a spike as a storm system comes in. And then the 16th through the 20th, we dry things out. 21st through the 23rd, a little bit wet, but nothing too bad. And then we're pretty dry through the end of May. There's a slight chance of a little something coming in around Memorial Day, but it looks slight. So basically just one big spike in precip in May. That's early. And then about mid-month, and then about the 22nd.
Email says, my mother was a faithful Memorial Day garden planter. Another email, Dean, your April LRC calendar, you mentioned there did not look like there were any major storms for the beginning of April. What happened? Well, I think we discussed that earlier.
We discussed that earlier. Yeah, it came in a little late. It was supposed to be March. And Bridget, I had an email question, and I have never heard of this, but maybe you have, about the 89-year drought. So the question was, this is from Randy. He said, what is the 89-year drought cycle? Is there any validity to that? 1847, 1936, and then that would be this year as well. Have you ever heard of that, Bridget? I have not.
I have, but I don't have enough details on the background information. That would be a great question for Dale Richardson, who's the state climatologist,
Right.
because he would have those records for that comparison. So that's probably something we could get and then talk about upcoming on a Weather and Ag in Focus show.
Okay.
One thing, because I just have barely enough working knowledge with it. With you guys talking about the moisture conditions that we're looking at, I would say that this is probably a point where folks, if they haven't thought about what they're going to put on for seed treatment, for soybeans, corn, etc., you're going to want to think that through, because if you have seed sitting in cold, wet soils, your chance for disease pressure just went up dramatically.
Right. And JT, let's put up that map of North Dakota and Minnesota, because I want to go over this with Bridget in terms of moisture. And this is rainfall through from May through the end of August. And what we're looking at through the state, through the eastern third of the state into Minnesota, we're not going to have any problems at all here in terms of drought conditions. We're looking at pretty close to average to a little bit above average from the valley eastward. But notice as you go west, and as Bridget was saying, Watford City, north of Williston area, those areas are in a severe drought right now. And it looks like that same area of the state. Now, there is a slight chance just north of the Watford City area, the far, far northwestern corner of the state could get in on some much more needed moisture. But just south of that, we're only looking at about 70% of normal, which isn't terrible, but it's not going to help the drought conditions out west. So, but as you get into even let's just say from Bismarck westward, through the spring and summer, we're looking at drier than normal conditions. Not totally. We're looking at 70, 75% of normal precip, while we're looking at pretty close to 100%, or just right around average for our average to a little bit above average for our area. How does that, and explain how that helps or changes the outlook for our ag community out there?
Honestly, if we're going to be 70% of normal, that would make a difference if we already had decent subsoil moisture, but we do not.
Yeah.
So you're looking at making some changes in your practices. The majority of that part of the state is already a no-till situation, so they're direct seeding into last year's standing stubble. So you're not opening up the soil and you're retaining moisture as much as you possibly can. I think additionally, pastures, we're going to want to watch those pastures so that we're not overgrazing, because we're not going to have an opportunity to let them recuperate the way we normally would if we're short in rainfall. There will need to be an eye kept out for wildfires, because even right now in this time of year, that snow is going to melt off if you got any recently, and then the winds usually kick up in the spring. Any spark is going to take us back to a wildfire situation like we had last October. And above all, if we do not have good recovery on our hay ground, we're dry. If we don't have good pasture, we are probably going to see emergency hang and grazing on CRP at some point this summer. That will have to be a state or federal declaration. We don't know if that's going to happen yet. Don't count on it until it does.
Right. And again, if you're just joining us, we're giving out our LRC spring and summer outlook. And it looks like for at least the eastern third of North Dakota into much of western Minnesota, the spring and summer on average looks to be at or above normal temperatures, so a little bit warmer than normal, which is, I think that's great news because, like you said, last year was kind of felt like a cool summer every stinking weekend. Yeah. And then precip-wise will be generally, again, eastern third of the state into western Minnesota at or a little bit above normal, while drier conditions prevail from Bismarck westward. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what we're looking at. With spikes in precip in our area, we're looking at early May, right before mid-May, another big spike. June's going to be a wet month. In fact, let's break down real quick.
Yeah, quick here because we're getting to the bottom of the closing markets.
So May, we're looking at here in the valley into western Minnesota for the general area, 2.5 to 3 inches of rain during the month of May. During the month of June, that's going to be a wet one. We're looking at 3 to 4.5 inches of rain. A lot of that coming between the 5th and the 13th.
Okay. So a couple of power downpours, then we're going to get rain, but it's not going to be, like these first two.
Yep. Right. And during the month of July, we're expecting about 3 to 4, maybe 4 inches of rain. That's favoring areas in western Minnesota. And the big soakers in July look to be around mid-month through about the 17th, and then about the 22nd through about the 24th. Very wet conditions on that third week in July. And then August, about 2 to 3 inches of rain during the month of August for our area, with a severe threat and the big spike in precip during that first 5 days in August, and then another one 11th through the 13th, 21st through the 23rd, and 25th through the 28th. The end of August looks a little bit wet around the area. So all in all, for our general area, about 10 to 12 inches of rain for our ag community during the spring and summer months.
How much above average is that? Did you say about 12 inches?
It's pretty close to average.
Okay.
Yeah, for our area, it's pretty close to average.
All right, WDY time right now is 3:29. You're listening to the LRC Spring Summer Outlook, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo, Rowan Joe Junk Haul and Removal, and also Welton Tire Service in Lisbon. Bridget, are you hanging, or you got to go, or what are you doing?
Do you guys need me? Because if you're good, I can. You decide. You tell me in the break if I'm staying or not. How's that?
Sure. Okay.
All right, we'll figure it out. I'll get to more emails, more your phone calls, 701-293-9000. Email studio at WDAYRadioNow.com. All right, 3:30. Let's do the closing markets. Wait till you hear this dude's voice, man. So this is Gunshine. 339, Jay Thomas Show.
Great
Spring Summer
guitar.
Outlook. Get to the calls in a second. Love these guys, man.
Wow.
Gotta-
A little lower octave than Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, just a little. All right. We got to get those guys to the Red River Valley Fair.
And how
man.
long have they been together?
Not long at all. And they're like older dudes, too.
They said,
they're
"Hey,
not like
let's-"
20-year-olds.
Wow, that's
They
great,
look like
man.
they're, you know what, right? Probably, they almost look like they're in their 40s. And it just...
Sounds an awful lot like one of the bands Dean and I heard before the Colorado game in the parking lot last year.
Oh,
Which band was that, Ronnie?
I wish I could remember.
Maybe it was Gunshine.
Yeah, it could very well have been.
I think that was a local band.
I think it was,
Yeah, it was
out
a
of
lo-
Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were playing a lot of rock. Yeah.
All right. Our Spring Summer Outlook special brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo. 3 Fargo locations. Also, Row and Joe Junk and Haul Removal. When it's got to go, call Row and Joe online at rowandjoejunk.com and Wilton's Tire Service in Lisbon. To the phone, Steve, you're up. Jay Thomas Show.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, buddy.
Going fishing May 24th through the 31st, Kenora, Ontario. Can you tell me anything about that area, or should I just stay home?
That's the 51st state.
You know what? Send me an email, weather at Flag Family, because everything I've got in front of me is generally just for our North Dakota, Minnesota, and into South Dakota. So if you have any specific questions for somewhere else, like I said, Ontario, or let's say somebody's going on vacation down in Florida, they want to know what it's like, shoot me an email. And then your exact dates. I know you said the end of May there. And let me know where at in Ontario, and I'll get something put together for you and get that to you by Monday.
Okay, that's fine. Is it weather at flagfamily.com?
What is it?
Yeah, weather at flagfamily.com.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Bill, Jay Thomas Show.
Hello?
Yep, you're up, Bill.
I'm going fishing myself.
Jeez, you
and
guys.
with a group of guys on the War Road, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. What's that going to be like?
Where? Where are you going?
War Road?
War Road,
War Road.
All right.
Minnesota.
Stop at the shed up there and see my buddy up there. Go look at all his beautiful cars.
The first 5, 6, 7, the first 7 days of June look a little bit wet. Now the 3rd,
there it is.
We're gonna see a break on the 3rd, but the 1st and 2nd look like we'll have scattered storms. We'll dry out the 3rd, and then it turns wet. The 4th, really wet. It looks like the 4th through the 7th. So you'll squeeze in one good day, and the first couple days will be just scattered storms.
Okie doke. Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Up to the North Pole, Santa, Jay Thomas Show. Aren't you clever?
Hey, question. The second weekend in June is the Bait Minokan Grove Rally. How's the weather looking for that day, for that weekend?
Second weekend, so you're looking at 14th onward?
Right around there, right around Father's Day.
Okay, so the big storm coming in here, roughly 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then we dry out after that for about 3-4 days.
Oh, fun! So we're gonna get drenched and drowned out there.
If it's a 12th or 13th, it looks like it. 11th, 12th, and 13th. Yeah, those 3 days look very wet.
Where are you going, Santa?
Minokan Grove. It's the Bates 50th anniversary for their rally out there.
Oh, and where's that? Where what state's that? I've never even heard of that place.
It's about 12 miles east of Bismarck here in North Dakota.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, bring a rain suit.
Snorkeling gear.
Yeah, well, that too, exactly. I don't even have to add water to my pool this spring. I'll just take the winter cover off and
let the rain fill it up.
Before I get back to the calls, Dean, how many days in the 90s do you think we're looking at? Oh, for June is supposed to be very wet. How many inches over normal for the month can we expect in June?
We'll get between 3 and 4.5 inches of rain during the month of June.
And how many days in the 90s are we looking at this summer?
Boy,
that's pretty specific.
Yeah, that's real specific. I have not dove into exact how many number of 90-degree days, but that's something we can. I'll look into that according to the LRC. It looks like we should see a few more. We'll see a few more than last year.
Okay.
It definitely looks that way.
Another email, Dean. Can you tell me what the spring and summer looks like for up north around Botno, North Dakota? Basically, same here, right?
It's not going to be much different than here. Yeah, not much different.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's for later on. Keith, Jay Thomas Show.
Hey.
Hey.
Say I'm looking at taking a bike trip out to the Black Hills, South Dakota, July 6th through the 12th, that following weekend. What kind of weather can I expect out there on the motorcycle?
July 6th through the 12th.
I could take bugs in your teeth.
That's why I got a windshield on my bike.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
I would be too, Keith.
You know, Keith, I've generally just got our North Dakota, Minnesota on there. Extrapolating it from, send me an email, weather@flagfamily.com, and I'll look specifically in the Black Hills for that time frame.
Okay.
For our area, it looks like a drier period for the most part. There's a few chances for storms, but nothing big. So, let me check. Yeah, shoot me an email, weather@flagfamily.com, and I will look into that and get an answer back to you there early next week.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Dean.
You bet.
Thanks, Keith. 701-293-9000. Email. Really? Dino, I heard something about you doing something with the weather in Valley News Live. What's going on? Can you explain what you'll be doing with Valley News Live weather? He filled in the other day. All right, we're done.
Oh, they hired me on full time. They didn't tell you guys that?
Oh, thank God.
JT, I forgot to tell JT that.
Good. Let's see. Okay, I'll save this email for the 4 o'clock hour. We'll save that one for the 4 o'clock hour. Before I get back to the phones, and Bruce is going to be next, can we real quick, hang on, callers, can we real quick highlight in detail some of the specific community dates? So let's hit like Memorial Day, 4th of July, stuff like that.
Yep. Okay, so let's pull up May here.
Memorial weekend.
Memorial Day weekend.
Here it comes.
Slight chance.
Oh, slight.
Slight chance
it'll be wet.
Of a few showers and thunder showers. We're looking at
what about temperature-wise?
50% of normal.
Okay.
Yeah, so not bad. Temperature-wise, it looks like we should be in the 70s, to be honest with you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit
4th of July.
Well, let's.
How about Rib Fest?
Yeah, Rib Fest is early June.
Yeah, Rib Fest is right around the 5th. That looks wet.
Oh,
looks wet.
Great.
Yep.
How about can we? I suppose we can't. We're not ready for Labor Day, are we?
No, I did not. We just went through August. How about the Red River Valley Fair? I believe that's July 4th through the 13th.
Yes. Don't do this to us.
Yeah, a slight chance of a few showers or thunder showers on the 3rd and 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5th and 6th look dry. A slight chance 7th and 8th. Again, this is slight.
Mm-hmm.
A better chance of rain coming in here the 11th, 12th, and 13th. So towards the end of the Red River Valley Fair, it does look like it'll get wet then.
And are we seeing warm temps then, or?
Yes. Yeah, we'll see some
80s,
a lot
90s?
of 80s. Yep.
Okay.
Some few 90s. How about We Fest?
Yeah, how about We Fest?
That is August
7th,
is it?
I don't know.
7th, 8th? I believe it's the 7th and 8th, or the 6th and 7th. Anyway, it looks good. Looks dry.
Does it?
Yeah, We Fest looks dry this year.
And hot?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
90s?
Yeah, August 7th through the 9th.
August 7th through the 9th. Yeah. So, yep, looks dry.
Oh,
looks
right.
good.
Wow.
Looks good.
Wow. Bruce, you're up. Jay Thomas Show.
Yeah, what are you seeing for the weekend of June 27th, 8th, and 9th for Detroit Lakes?
June 27th, 8th, and 9th. We will start to dry out. There's going to be a storm coming in here the 23rd, 4th, and 5th. We start drying out on the 26th, and 27th, 8th, and 9th look dry.
Oh, good. That's $1 million answer.
I hope. I hope so.
Spread the wealth, buddy. Spread the wealth. Brad, Jay Thomas Show.
I tuned in late and maybe talked to it already. What about the Corn Belt?
The Corn Belt, as in all the way down to Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota?
Yeah, Illinois, Iowa, the I states.
Right. For the most part, the western part of the Corn Belt looks to have drier than normal conditions. That's all the way from western Nebraska through western South Dakota into western North Dakota. So, as we head eastward, conditions do get wetter. The central part of Nebraska into South Dakota could be slightly drier than normal, and that extends up into central North Dakota as well. But the eastern third of the Corn Belt, let's say from eastern North South Dakota through eastern Nebraska through Iowa and most of Minnesota, look to have adequate precip as we head throughout the spring and summer. Now, there's going to be a couple of pockets that we're worried about. One would be southwestern Minnesota into northwestern Iowa. There's a big question mark on those areas. Now, they could get some timely rains, and it'll wind up okay. But those are two areas of a little concern in the Corn Belt. But the rest of the Corn Belt looks pretty decent.
What about temperatures for down there?
Temperatures at or above normal this summer.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it. Email, maybe it's already been asked, but can you ask Dean what the weekend of June 21st and 22nd looks like?
June 21st and 22nd.
You know what?
Oh, just a few scattered storms. There's a larger storm coming in 23rd, 4th, 5th. So that weekend looks to be halfway decent.
All right, hold on here. I'm going to let's see if I am going to like you more or less. I'm going to give you 3 dates.
Is this for you or is this for somebody else?
This is for me.
All right.
Me and thousands of other people. West Fargo Cruise Night dates.
Oh.
Don't kill me, Smalls.
What days?
First one is June 19th. That's the first one of the summer. That's the big one. I don't like this pause.
18th looks dry.
I don't care about the 18th.
I know. 19th, just a slight chance of a few scattered thunderstorms. A bigger storm coming in, as we said earlier, about the 23rd, 4th, 5th.
Okay. Next one would be the 16th of July.
16th?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. 17th of July.
Wet.
Really?
Yeah.
Really wet?
Wet. And severe, possible, too. Severe weather, too.
Let's see if we can do a 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 1, 2, 3.
Nice one, Meatloaf.
Thank you. August 21st. Oh. No!
Man.
No!
Now, again, if we're off a day.
Double whammy.
21st through the 23rd look, especially 22nd and 23rd. 21st through the 23rd looks kind of wet. But the 20th, 19th, and 20th look dry. I know, but if it's a day off, if it's a day off, you could get lucky.
Right.
But August 21st, 2nd, and 3rd look pretty wet.
While you're looking into August, emailer says, hey, Jay, can you ask Dean about August 23rd?
Wet.
That's where you just talked about. Wet. Another email, is there a way to down the... Oh, they must forgot the word download. Is there a way to download the LRC report as we plan to do a lot of racing this summer?
Download. I mean, if you've
at some point you're going to have all this up. Dates.
I will put all this online. Yeah.
It'll be at WDAYRadioNow.com, but it'll be a week or so before this stuff's up.
I'll get it up next week.
Oh, it'll be up next week. So, am I caught up? I think so. I'm checking all my yeah, I'm caught up on everything. All right. We hit Ribfest. We
didn't hit 4th of July. Well, we touched a little bit.
Yeah, okay. 4th of July is actually on a weekend this year on Friday, isn't it?
It's
Friday's
Friday,
the 4th, yeah.
It is.
So the 4th the 3rd and the 4th, there's a slight chance of some scattered storms. The 5th looks dry. The 6th looks dry. So we might luck out there. We might only see some scattered storms for 4th of July weekend.
So now last year it seemed like every weekend's when the bad weather, the rain hit.
Right.
All right, ready? Okay. Get your June calendar out.
You got it.
June 7th and 8th.
Okay, June 7th and 8th.
At the Dickinson weekend? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just checking all our weekends this summer.
Oh, gotcha.
Wet. Sunday might be dry, but it looks
Just like
pretty,
last year.
Looks pretty. Yeah, right. Yeah.
June 16th and 14th and 15th. Yeah, I think that's a wet one, isn't it?
13th is wet. 14th, the storm starts to leave, and the 15th looks dry.
Sunday. 21st and 22nd.
Looks good.
Wow. 28th, 29th.
Looks good.
Wow. We just hit the 4th of July weekend. July 12th and 13th.
Wet.
The whole weekend.
Yep.
19th and 20th.
Dry.
26th, 27th of July.
Dry.
Wow. 2nd and 3rd of August.
Pretty wet. Well, actually, I take that back. Second might, that whole first 6 days in August, we have a chance for severe weather. But the greatest threat, it looks like the 3rd, 4th, 5th. But it's just, if how about we say it looks iffy?
9th and 10th.
That should be dry.
16th and 17th.
That looks scattered storms.
August 30th.
That looks dry.
Okay. All right.
So we're, what, 70%, 60% decent
I'd like to
weekends?
see a little bit higher than that, but
70?
Who am I? All right. A national championship NDSU Bison football team headed for the White House Wednesday, April 9th, and we're packing up, I should say, the PetroServe USA microphones and bringing you all the action from the nation's capital. That's right. We're going to be everywhere at the Bison. Listen for updates. Dang it. Listen for updates, look for behind-the-scenes videos and more on WDAYRadioNow.com, AM1100theflag.com, and our social channels. Brought to you by PetroServe USA, the hot tub and sauna store next to Costco, West Fargo, and Roe and Joe Junk and Haul and Removal. When it's got to go, call Roe and Joe online at roeandjoejunk.com. What the heck?
It's all that pizza you ate.
I got my throat now. All right, anything else before we get to the top of the hour news here?
No, let's hit the top of the hour, and then when we come back, we'll, again, take more. I've got a few more email questions that we'll go over. If you have any questions, give us a call, 701-293-9000.
Yeah, here's what we're doing. So after the news, top of the hour, now, we've been taking, we said we're going to do it in the 4 o'clock hour, but we've been taking them. But now, if you've got specific dates in what, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota?
Yeah.
If you got specific dates you're looking for, you want to know regarding the weather, we'll open up those phone lines for you, 701-293-9000. And Dean will get you that information. You can also email studio@WDAYRadioNow.com. We're going to do that next on the LRC Spring Summer Outlook Special, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo, Roe and Joe, Junk and Haul Removal, and Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon.
from the WDAY Radio Newsroom.
I'm Austin Erickson with the news, brought to you by Lakeland Dock and Lift. Upgrade your dock and lift and give your neighbor dock envy. Lakeland Dock and Lift and Lakeland General Store are the area's #1 flow dealer. Give Lakeland a call today. The North Dakota Department of Health says no employees have been laid off because of the federal government canceling grants. Interim Health Commissioner Dirk Wilkie says the department is assessing the impact on specific roles that are funded fully or partially by rescinded grants. The Minnesota Department of Health says 170 employees have been laid off because their positions were funded by $220 million in recently terminated federal grants. Fire crews had to put out a car fire overnight in Fargo, but investigators don't believe there's anything suspicious. The Fargo Fire Department says a report of the car on fire came in around 2 this morning in the 4800 block of 16th Avenue South. There were no injuries or no damage to surrounding vehicles. Minnesota State University Mankato officials say 5 international students had their visas terminated. President Edward Inch says the school and the students weren't informed of the news by Homeland Security. The changes were only spotted after the university ran a status check. The students have not been detained by ICE. They have been asked to self-deport within 60 days. That's a look at the news. I'm Austin Erickson.
First with the news when you need to know. WDAYRadioNow.com.
407 Jay Thomas Show. Who is this?
Is this Gunshine again?
No. Motley Crue. Take me to the top.
Oh, God, you're going to find better Motley Crud than this. You can kill that one. All right, 408 right now, Jay Thomas Show. It's the last hour for our Spring Summer Outlook special. Now, if you've got a specific date you're looking at, 701-293-9000. Dean will get it to you. If it's in we're looking North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, anything other than that, if you email weather@flagfamily.com, anywhere else in the country, give Dean a couple days and he will get you an answer. Hey, Grace, April specials. Waiting for you at a Petro Serve USA. There's one near you. Pete's Corner Pizza, $6.99. Pop Daddy Pretzels, $1.99. Assorted T-shirts, excludes NDSU shirts, $4.99. How about that? Red Bull 12 ounce, buy two, get one free. All this and more at Petro Serve USA. There's one near you. And this hour's weather, it's brought to you by Precision. Make the right decision. Call Precision. Plumbing, heating, HVAC. They got their dirt works. I'll tell you what, especially now with the monsoon season coming, you got to make sure that sump pump is working. Call Precision. They will come check all your gear out, make sure everything is running properly. And if it's not, they'll get it up and running for you or make any fixes that you need. There's a reason you see Precision trucks all over the region because a lot of people know which decision to make. All right. Before we get back to the phones, let me do the phones first. And then we'll get emails. Jamie, you're up, Jay Thomas Show.
How will it be in Fargo on June 7th?
Tail end of that storm, so pretty good chance of rain on the 7th.
What do you got going on, Jamie?
Graduation party.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's graduation season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell the old man clean that garage up because everybody's going to be hanging in the garage.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it. Hey, Jay, I'm listening to Dean and getting very PO'd. No, that's not what it says. It doesn't say that. I'm listening to Dean and getting very worried about Happy Harry's Rib Fest with the LRC lookout. Can he deep dive into how much rain is anticipated for Fargo and if it's all day rain for those 4 days? Any breaks? Sarah, she, by the way, Director of Marketing and Sales at the Fargo Dome.
I better get this right.
You better get this right because Sarah will put you in a headlock and knock you out.
Well, Sarah, my cousin is supposed to come up from Chicago, and he specifically booked these dates for
Ribfest.
And I told
a lot
him,
of people do.
I know.
I got friends coming in from on the West Coast for Ribfest.
I mean, right now it looks wet. The whole first week in June, outside of the 3rd, looks wet.
Move it.
Yeah.
Not that easy.
The 5th. So the Ribfest is 5th, 6th, and 7th, right? Or 5th and 6th? That's what I've got it circled. The 4th, 5th, and 6th.
June 4th through the 7th.
Yeah, 4th through the 7th.
Yes.
Okay, and it looks wet. Now, by wet, I'm looking at between 120 and 180% above average. So that's wet. Anytime it's above 100,
that means you're getting rain.
You're getting rain. Now, once it gets like so we have
if it's
mid-June,
above 100, or if it's at 100 above, you're getting rain. What happens when it says it's 200%? Does that mean a ton of rain?
Yeah. Once you get 200-300%, you're looking at a soaker,
monsoon.
A soaker.
Okay.
Yeah. But for Ribfest, we're looking at anywhere between 120, 180% above average. Now, average for those 4 days, let's assume it's a tenth of an inch a day, just roughly 15/100ths of an inch a day. It's going to be wet. It's going to be. Now, will it be all day rains? It was Kathy, right?
No, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. All day rains, more than likely not. Yeah. No, but it's not going to be totally dry either. So look, unfortunately, Ribfest does look wet.
Can you break that down even farther and tell us, is the rain in the daytime or the nighttime?
You're killing me.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, the band's playing at night.
Right. But yeah, so that it doesn't look like a dry weekend. We'll say that.
All right, so, Sarah, there you go.
Sorry, Sarah.
But now again, always remember, this thing could shift a day or two.
Even if it
shifts on this
wet,
one.
Yeah. Well, now afterwards, the 8th,
I don't think she cares about afterwards.
I know, but here's what I'm saying: the 8th, 9th, and 10th look dry. So let's say this system comes in, even if it comes in a couple days earlier, you're still looking at the back half of Rib Fest still being wet.
All right.
So,
I wish Dean had better news for you. I'll take him out back and hurt him. Let's see. Hey guys, we're planning a trip to the Black Hills sometime in July. When should or shouldn't we go? Send an email, Jim, to weather@flagfamily.com. That way Dean can specifically look at the Black Hills and get you an answer.
Because that's totally different from here.
Good Lord, man. It's a long, that's a long one. All right, here we go. Sioux Falls, July 18th and 19th.
July. Oh, jeez.
Man.
It will, boy. The 7th, 16th, and 17th look very wet. It starts to dry out the 18th, 19th, and 20th. So,
and again, if there's a day or two
if it's off a day, it looks dry before that and dry after that. But the 16th, 17th of July look very wet.
That's that big Rock in the Country festival in Sioux Falls, the 18th and 19th. Kid Rock and Nickelback.
Yeah,
and
the
all
19th. Again, the 19th looks okay, and it starts to dry out on the 18th. But again, if this thing shifts a day either side of what we've got pegged, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta read through this thing. This is a damn long email. Okay, this one, Nate, you're going to have to email Dean on this because you've got cities all over the damn upper Midwest. But Dean can take care of that.
Yeah.
So, Nate, send you know what? I'm just going to forward this one to you because this already got all the dates. So, Nate, I'm going to forward this to Dean right now.
Oh, is that Nate, the voice of the
yes, the Red Hawks.
Okay.
So, basically, the Red Hawks want to know.
Gotcha.
Oops, hold on here. That's not how I do that. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm drafting instead of sending. Forward. There we go.
Put it together, man. Put it together.
I'm so depressed over all these weekends.
WeFest looks dry.
I don't care about WeFest.
Yeah, I was going to say you won't see him dead at WeFest.
No. No, one time it was a real not fun experience.
And I think I was there the same year because
it was the first year of WeFest.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. First year. Okay.
Okay. I just forwarded that email with all those dates, and Dean will get back to you. Twyla, you're up on a Jay Thomas show.
Yeah, I'm wondering about June 13th, 14th, and 15th.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. That's number one. Alex and I want to go see Tyler Hubbard at the Lights. That's outside. And then that's my birthday weekend, and Dean had to disappoint me again.
So a big rainmaker on the 12th and 13th, and a likely severe weather from the valley eastward into Minnesota. The 14th and 15th, it starts to dry out, but that 12th, 13th, 14th, or 11th, 12th, 13th time frame looks wet, and then it starts to dry out after that.
What do you got going on, Twyla?
Well, our community of Alice has a 125th celebration.
Oh, I love them small town Who's playing? Are you doing a street dance there?
We are. Friday night, it's Brother Jukebox. And Saturday night, it's Silverado.
Oh,
man.
And
Twyla, what was it? You said the 13th and 14th?
13th, yep, is Brother Jukebox. 14th is Silverado. And then we just have a picnic on Sunday, the 15th.
Well, yeah, come out there for
13th looks wet. 14th and 15th looks much better.
All right. Thank you much.
You bet.
Thanks, Twyla. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. 701-293-9000. Email studio, wdayradionow.com. And once again, I think I'll caught up on. Oh, hold on. Weather outlook. What is this, man? Oh, man, doing two. Hang on, callers. May do my one. Oh, okay. Wants to know my birthday, April 29th.
Wet.
Bismarck area.
Wet.
Yeah, there you go. Wet. Diane, Jay Thomas Show.
Yes, I'm wondering about weather conditions in Lead, South Dakota, June 13th through the 17th.
Again, so we're specific. I'm leaving the Black Hills out of this. That's a totally different part of the LRC than our area. So if you can shoot me an email on the specific dates for the Black Hills out there, I'll email you back and get you more specifics.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you bet.
Thanks, Diane.
This is a
weather. By the way, that's weather at flagfamily.com.
Yes.
This is a big one, Dean, that I'm sure people are concerned with. July 9th through the 12th, ND Country Fest 2025 in New Salem.
Oh, my
North
God.
Dakota.
Alex and I, that was during when we were out in Dickinson last year. Couldn't figure out. We stopped at the gas station there in New Salem. I was have to stop there because that's about as far as I can get on a full tank of gas.
Right.
Gas up, and it's like, what the hell is going on out here? And the gal's like, oh, it's the big country festival. It's CMT TV's out here. It's
They
like,
were,
holy
yeah.
smokes, man.
And
I couldn't believe the amount of people out
This
there.
year's lineup looks like it's one of the best they've ever had. Sam Hunt, Cole Swindell, Gary Allen, Sarah Evans.
And what were the dates on that?
July 9th through the 12th in New Salem.
Looks pretty decent.
Wow, how about that? Of course, we'll be out there July 18th and 19th for the annual Prairie Cruisers car show in the park. And I was asking Dean off here, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. Now, the tail end of that out west could see a few scattered storms towards that 12th, 13th time frame. I think Ronnie said, 9th through the 12th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 12th, 13th might see a little bit of scattered storms.
Ryan, you're up on a Jay Thomas show.
Hey, sorry if I missed out, but did anybody check with the ZZ Top concert June 10th?
Oh, that's right. They're at Blue Stem, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, good call.
Good question. June 10th looks good. Maybe a few. There's this. Okay, here's the caveat. There's a big storm coming in 11th, 12th, and 13th. The 8th, 9th, and 10th right now look dry. But if that comes in a day early, you're looking at scattered storms developing. But right now, according to our 41-day cycle, and again, each cycle fluctuates between 40 and 42 days. That's why we set it at a 41-day cycle right in the middle. But when you've got a big storm right around that time frame, that's where you're like, okay, if it comes in a day early, if it comes in on a 40-day cycle, then that day might be in question. But right now, you said the 9th, right, of June?
No, June 10th.
June 10th. 10th still looks good. 8th and 9th look dry, and then we're going to start seeing the effects of the storm coming in on the 10th, but more so on the 11th, 12th, 13th.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Cheyenne, Jay Thomas show.
I have a wedding to go to in Pura, Minnesota on September 27th.
Oh, we're not that far. We're not that far out yet.
You know what? Send me an email because I've got the calendar out through August. I can get you that specific date in September, though. Just shoot me an email, weather@flagfamily.com. Put the dates down. I know you said it was in Purim, so but just put the exact dates down, and then I'll get back to you and let you know what it looks like.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Cheyenne. Mike, you're up. Jay Thomas show.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
I've got kind of a spread in the DL area between now and like May 13th.
What do you got going on?
I'm going to be doing some camper swapping in a resort, and I'm hoping the weather cooperates.
You're swapping campers at a resort. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so what were the start and end dates?
Kind of like now until like May 13th.
All right, so between now and May.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, May 13th is when my new one comes in. So.
Okay, well, we've got a few wet periods in there. We've got the 14th and 15th later this month. There's going to be a storm riding in out of the Rockies. We've got another one around the 24th, 25th. And then the period from the 28th through May 3rd look wet. Now, the early part of May, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd looks really wet. We're talking quite a bit of rain. Then it dries out.
Perfect.
Yep. Then it dries out. The 4th through the 4th through the 9th. Actually, really, we got about a week and a half worth of dry weather after that wet streak in May. And then more rain coming in. It looks like the 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Oh, perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Greg, Jay Thomas Show.
Has anybody asked about the 1st through the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got going on? What do you got going on, Greg?
We got some friends bringing their kids back to North Dakota because they want them to see what a darn good 4th of July is like.
Well, they'll see what. Well, actually,
they live out in Portland right now where they can't do nothing.
well, they're gonna feel. Oh man, yeah, they're behind the iron
Even
curtain.
if it would be raining, it'd still be better.
Well, the first
My rim shot's off.
the 1st through the 4th, we're looking at scattered storms. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Drying it out on the 5th and 6th. But so it's not going to be all-day rains. It's not going to be a huge soaker like it will later in the month in July. But it does look like we'll at least have scattered storms the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But again, nothing that should wash anything out. But again, it's not going to be totally dry either.
Oh, these kids are going to have a blast.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Craig, you're up, Jay Thomas Show.
Like between Duluth and Minneapolis, the week of like July 18th through the following week, the 26th.
What are you? So from Duluth to Minneapolis, what are you walking that stretches? Or
Well, be up like we'll be in Minneapolis and then we'll be in Duluth. You know, both of those, and then I'm just wondering what the good day to be golfing out there.
Oh, okay, golfing.
All right, there's 2 wet periods during that time. One is right around the 16th, 17th, and 18th, keyed in on the 16th and 17th. Then we dry out 19th, 20th, and 21st. And then another even bigger, wetter system comes in the 22nd through the 24th, and exiting the 25th, and then the 26th of July through the end of the month look dry.
Okay, perfect. Because like that 19th was the day that I was thinking about scheduling golf. So.
Yeah, 19th through the 20th looks really good. Yeah, it looks much better.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Do you think that like other meteorologists and weather people around the area are right now listening to us, writing all this down, going, all right,
writing it down?
I'm going to prove him that I'm going to prove it.
No, good. You know what? And we invite people to mark these dates down.
Yeah,
and again, if it's a day off, you can't get.
It's
a 40 to 42 day cycle. We set it on 41. So if these big storms come in a day early, if your plans are right before the storm comes in and it comes in a day early, well, sorry.
No, but at least okay, this time there's going to be big storms,
be something
or
big.
we're going to be in a dry slot.
Exactly.
Nobody else can do that for you, by the way. Just the LRC. Jeff's in Grand Forks. Jeff, Jay Thomas Show.
Hi, I'm going to be in Walker, Minnesota, August 1st through the 8th.
What's going on in Walker? Is there a music fest?
Family vacation, doing some camping and boating and stuff.
Nice. August 1st through the 8th. What do you got, Dean?
First.
Don't be a heartbreaker.
No, that's all right. 1st and 2nd look okay. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th look wet with the possibility of severe weather too. We start to dry things out on the 6th, and then 7th, 8th, and 9th look dry.
Okay. Sounds better than last year.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
That's right around WeFest there, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Andy, Jay Thomas Show.
Hey, guys. Duluth, April 17th through the 20th.
Duluth, April 17th through the 20th. So let's see. 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. All right. Looks okay until possibly around the 20th. Might have something coming in around then.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Andy.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening. What's this? Oh, hang on, callers. Yeah, that's one heck of a lineup for this. Boy, this North Dakota Country Festival. How long has this thing been around for?
About five or 6 years.
I mean,
maybe?
this thing has really exploded. Look,
has.
oh my God, George Burge is going to be there.
Yeah, and CMT coming out there really blew it up last year, and our friends from Tiger Lily Gold are going to be out there as well. So
Gary Allen's, I like Cole Swindell.
Yeah,
Sam Hunt's good too.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's a heck of a lineup.
Look at the line. Yeah, like I said, we drove by there last, and we couldn't. You know, before we got to New Salem, we just got out of Bismarck, and we're heading to. And it's like not one highway patrol car from West Fargo to Bismarck. Not one. I can do 110, no problem. I'm kidding. Get through Bismarck, and it's what is with all these highway? Well, they're all heading out to New Salem.
Yeah.
I suppose because. Like I said, we pulled in there, that little gas station. It's like, you see all these kids. It's like, what? And they say, this is the country festival. Like, I had no idea this was going on.
It's a big area just west of where New Salem Sioux stands.
Yeah, you can see it right off the interstate.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. It's easy access. The interstate's there. Boom, you're in.
Yeah.
And that is, when is?
July 9th through the 12th.
New Salem, North Dakota. Sam Hunt, Cole Swindell, Gary Allen. I didn't know Sarah Evans was still out touring.
Oh, yeah.
Dean Jackson, is he the one saying "Don't rock the jukebox"?
No, that is Alan Jackson. Yes,
George Burge. I like George Burge. Montgomery Gentry, Restless Road, Tiger Lily Gold, Confederate Railroad.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah. Danny Shirley and the boys still out touring. Yeah,
Chris Cagle, Wade Hayes, Bryce Leatherwood, and Vincent Mason. That's the main second stage. Mackenzie Carpenter, Jay Webb. And Mars Daniels. Wow. What did tickets go for on this thing?
Well, and there's a little teaser. We just received word today. We may have your chance to get them here on WDAY.
Oh.
So that more on that in the coming weeks.
Oh.
So
you may get to win some tickets here, huh? What are they? So if you want VIP at WeFest, what does that go for?
Oh,
you know?
I'm betting it's got to be between 700. Now, you're including the camping pass, right?
I'm guessing that's.
Yeah, I'm guessing somewhere between $700 and $1,100.
Well, for VIP 4-day for this is $415.
Oh.
Dream Deck admission is $300. That Dream Deck was really cool because I watch a lot of what's his name that does the
Cody Allen, the hot 20. Yeah,
he was doing it from that Dream Deck. Very cool.
Nice.
That's $300 for all 4 days. That Dream Deck. VIP reserve campsite. That's already sold out. That's done.
Wow. I heard that's. I've never been. I'm not a huge country.
I'm not either, but it's not even country music anymore.
Right.
It's just like party poppy music. It's just, but you're kidding me. 4-day camping or 4-day campground admission is only $90.
Yeah,
Wow.
they pack them in real orderly and tight in there. So,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Brian J. Thomas Show.
Hey, I know that one caller just called into the Walker area, but how does it look August 5th through the 14th up in the Ely Boundary Water area?
Oh, God's country, man.
Okay, what were the dates on that?
August 5th through the 14th.
Oh, so. How's that? Let's see.
Sounds
August
like a Dean answer.
August 4th and 5th look a little wet, scattered storms. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th look dry. 10th, 11th, 12th look like scattered storms. And then, what'd you say through August what?
14th.
So, not bad. No big storms. I'd say your biggest threat of storms would be 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Your biggest threat are mosquitoes.
Okay.
That's your biggest threat.
No doubt.
Oh, it's
I'm
nasty.
not even up there then, but even a little bit of clouds and a little bit of mist doesn't. I mean, that helps when you're out and about, right? Like cool down, but not bad.
There you go. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. WDOI time 4:32 news. Dean will give you that forecast. And more calls and emails. Damn pizza, man.
You okay, man? You can make it.
Why'd you let me eat that pizza?
Well, I now I feel bad I got lunch because if I'd have known it was going to be from Pizza Ranch, I'd have taken it.
Man. All right, 701-293-9000. Email studio, WDAYradionow.com. More to Jay Thomas Show coming up. All right, 442, Jay Thomas Show. Sick of my job, sick of my... This is a Friday song, man. Well, today is my Friday. I got some.
Who's this, Ronnie?
This is Glenn Fry, baby.
Is it really?
Yeah, this is way back, 80s.
Wow.
He had a few hits. This was one of them. All right, 442, Jay Thomas Show, as we get ready to wrap up the LRC Spring Summer Special 2025. 701-293-9000, email studio, WDAYRadioNow.com. And again, we'd like to thank Jiffy Lube of Fargo with 3 Fargo locations, Roe and Joe Junk Haul and Removal, online at roeandjoejunk.com, and Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon for making this possible. Email, yeah, what do you got? Then I'll get emails here. You want me to do the emails?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a quick recap on what the I'm just going to give a generalized outlook for the spring and summer. So if you just joined us, this is our LRC outlook for spring and summer.
Will it be like a ride at Wet and Wild?
It always is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. We're looking at temperatures, and Michael, if you want to put that up there, because I know somebody messaged on our live stream. Temperatures look to be a little bit above normal for this year as a whole, for the eastern third of the state, going down into northern half of Minnesota, even a little bit more above average as you head into southern Minnesota. Now, precip-wise, we're looking at, precip a little bit about average to a little bit above average. There's a couple of key times that are going to be wet. That first 3 days in May, we're looking at very, very wet conditions. Then we'll kind of mellow things out until about the middle of May, where we see another storm come in here. And then as we head into the tail end of May, just a few scattered showers here and there. No big storms. The big storm in May is going to be the first 3-4 days there. As we go into June looks like a much wetter month. A couple of wet periods, one being unfortunately right around Ribfest, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And then we'll dry things out for a few days, and another wet system with severe weather possible the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Then we'll dry things out through about the 21st, 22nd, and then a weaker storm comes in here 23rd, 4th, and 5th, and then we dry things out for the remainder of June. July looks the middle and latter half of the month, a couple of big storms. The first part of July through about the 10th, there's a couple of scattered storm possibilities around the 3rd and 4th, 8th and 9th. No big organized storms, and another one about the 12th and 13th. But a bigger organized storm comes into the area July 15th, 16th, and 17th. That could hold severe weather, and an even wetter system. This one looks like a big wet system on the 22nd, 3rd, and 4th of July. Then we dry things out for the rest of the month. So we've got some dry periods in there, yeah. But when some of these storms come through, they're going to be wet. August looks wet, at least the first part of it. We're looking at a good chance of severe weather August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it looks kind of wet there. WeFest looks dry. That's good there. Another storm system 11th through the 13th. Another one the 21st through the 23rd of August, and a better chance of rain. This one looks to be the best chance towards the end of the month. The 25th through the 27th. And then the rest of August dries out.
There you go. There's a recap. All right. April 3rd, the 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. What's the weather look like?
Get out of here.
Asking for a friend.
What day? Tonight?
Tonight.
Celebrity hot tub?
Tonight.
Tonight looks fine.
Okay. All right. That's good. There's some good news there. Tomorrow I got to leave here at 5 a.m., head up to Cavalier Langdon. I'm seeing snow. No?
They will get snow up there, yeah. Yeah, we'll get snow here tomorrow, too.
Heavy wet stuff again?
Yeah, it's good. Temperatures mid-30s, yeah. But that's okay. I mean, at least the roadways won't be too bad. It's not,
true.
They'll probably get, 2-3 inches, maybe 4 up there. And areas Bismarck up towards Minot, 2 to 5. I'm seeing about an inch here. And again, with the temperatures, the roadways shouldn't be that bad. It's not going to fall at the clip it did with this last storm. So the roadways shouldn't be too bad. But we'll get some accumulation on the grassy surfaces or the existent snowpack.
I'm not worried about I-29, but you get up there, and I believe it's Highway 5. Then I got to take and cut across off.
Now
those
the early,
single lanes drive
you're
me
going
nuts.
early morning.
Yeah.
With temperatures then they'll probably be a little bit below freezing. Yeah, you might run into some slick travel in the morning.
When's that? Damn it! When's that snow start?
Late tonight into.
It does start tonight.
Late, like towards sunrise, and then first half of the day tomorrow.
Jeez. All right. I hate driving in the wintertime. I hate, especially single lane highways. Can't stand it. I hate that. Let's see. Email. We have events coming up for students to try their hand at running equipment. This is an outdoor event. How does the LRC look for these 3 dates?
What are the dates again?
Okay, Fargo, it's going to be May 1st. Oh, that looks very cool.
Oh, that's wet. Yeah, remember those first 3 days.
Those kids will have fun with this big equipment in the
Those
wet.
first 3 days in May are going to be very wet.
Mandan, May 7th.
May 7th in Mandan. Looks okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And May 13th in Dickinson.
Let's see. A few scattered storms possible, but nothing big. Nothing big.
All right.
Yeah, but those first 3 days in May, they're going to be very, very wet.
All right. It says if there are students interested, head to agcnd. Okay, that's Mackenzie. Do me a favor. This is pretty cool. Email me at my private email. I'm going to get you on the air, get somebody on from this event on the air this coming week and promote this thing. This looks really cool. Or in the next week or two, actually.
Playing with the big toys.
Oh, yeah. It's jay.thomas@flagfamily.com. Mackenzie, send me an email. We'll get something scheduled. One of our favorite, I better say favorite, West Fargo police officer, Rhonda Jorgensen. She's in charge of Night to Unite. Night to Unite, August 5th. What's it look like? Tuned in late, had physical therapy.
Oh, come on, Rhonda.
Rhonda, your whole life is therapy. I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding.
August what? 3rd, 4th,
5th? August 5th.
That's, wet. Wet and a chance for severe weather, too.
All right. Weather for June 12th, please. That would be for the Wahpeton area.
June 12th, wet, and it looks like chance of severe weather just to the east of Wahpeton.
That's that weekend that I'm not happy about.
Yep. Yeah, 12th, 13th look wet.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, guys, when does Dean post his stuff? What will it be posted on? Thank you. It'll be posted on a computer.
I'll get this next week. We'll try and get that out early next week. I want to get all the charts down, and then I've got to get Gary's okay on this because the stuff that we have right now is a paid subscription, and I've got to get his okay to publish this online. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Better not be, or I'll send him a bill for being on the Jay Thomas Show.
There you go.
It'll be more than $300.
Yeah. So I will have that posted next week. We'll put it online. And you can find it there. We'll give you a heads up when we post it online.
We got 4 minutes left. Let's see if we can get everybody in. Dennis, Jay Thomas Show.
Yes, thank you. April 26th, Wahpeton.
April 26th, did you say?
Yes, sir.
All right, there's a storm on the 24th, 25th, and the 28th through the 30th. So,
oh boy,
I would plan. I mean, if the window is correct here, you're going to luck out. But again, the storm comes in a day late, a day early. That's going to affect that weekend. Right now, the weekend doesn't look bad with storms on both sides of each weekend, of that weekend, I should say.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Thanks, Dennis. Dave, you're up. Jay Thomas Show.
Yeah, I haven't been listening too much. I've been awful busy, but I was just kind of curious. I farm, and what's going to happen in the I states, in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, for the Corn Belt? Is it dry? Is it wet? I guess I haven't heard.
Somebody asked that earlier.
We actually went over that about an hour ago.
Well, we'll hit it again. We'll hit it again for you.
Looks like wet with above normal precip for that part of the Corn Belt.
Really? So this drought that they're talking about is not going to happen?
Boy, I don't see it. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. Now there's parts of Iowa that will be that are concerned. The northwestern corner into southwestern Minnesota. Those are that's one area of concern. I believe, and I've got the specific map for Illinois and Indiana in my office, so I don't have that available. If you shoot me an email, weather@flagfamily.com, and I can get you a specific map for the I-State region there.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man.
It would be a good time to likely mention as well, this will be up if you want to go back and watch the entire thing or listen to it on our webpage, WDAYradionow.com, and on our 970 WDAY YouTube page.
Or that, or anywhere you podcast it, because my podcast goes up every night.
That's right.
So there you go. Yeah, you can hear the whole thing all over again. The hot, dry summer that we're going to, I wish.
Corvette summer.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll be better than last summer. We do have more weekends that you'll be able to enjoy, and opposed to last summer where every weekend was
sounds like I'm going to be better off this year taking, which I should have done last year, take my Mondays off instead of Fridays.
Right.
God. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, once again, thanks. Special thanks to Jiffy Lube of Fargo with 3 Fargo locations. Roe and Joe Junk Haul and Removal. When it's got to go, call Roe and Joe online, roeandjoejunk.com. And, of course, Welton Tire Service in Lisbon. They brought you this LRC Spring Summer Outlook special. Yeah, tomorrow, Tim Flackel is in for me, and I had Tim's lineup lined up here, and I shut it down.
Yeah, I know he's got
Hoven on.
Yep, he does have Senator Hoven on. He also has Chris Burns and Jason Boutwell from Pro Resources.
Okay.
Cass County Commissioner Jim Capitan about the Hector Airport construction update and some other county issues.
That's cruising along.
And then Patrick Kirby talking about his brand new book, Fundraise Like a Fifth Grader.
Yeah, there you go. All that tomorrow on the Jay Thomas Show, as I will be driving up in snow.
You'll make it.
And real quickly, Dean, I know my brother subscribes for because he has to push snow for the city. If people want to subscribe, get the paid subscription to the LRC, how do they do that?
So go to weather2020.com, and you can surf through the site. I would highly recommend getting the dashboard product. That's what we use. There's cheaper alternatives, cheaper options. Cheaper isn't always better. The dashboard product has proven to be the most accurate. So it costs a little more, but it's well worth it.
All right. Thanks, Dino. Thank you to Bridget
you got
Rito. And also Gary Lezak. He joined us the first half hour of the program. All right. Tim Flackel in for me tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. Folks, have a great weekend. How's the weekend look? Not bad.
The weekend?
Yeah.
Temperatures around 40. The following weekend.
That
60s.
Yeah, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Looking good.
I got to take that Friday off, too, because I was informed last night that I got to get my summer cars out of storage because the guy needs the room to start on another plane project.
Yeah, that following, not this weekend, but the following weekend. Oh, man.
Really?
I hope the golf courses are open. If they are, it's going to be packed.
We're holding you to this, too, by the way.
I promise.
All right, folks, Valley News Live. It's up next. Talk to you on Monday.